3 months ago, I made a video about the Canon R6 Mark III because all the rumors said it would be out by now. It isn't, so naturally I'm back talking about the exact same camera that still doesn't exist. And why? Because apparently I can't take a hint, and because the rumor mill keeps trickling out just enough new scraps of information to justify me sitting here again pretending this actually might happen. So here's your updated look at the camera that isn't real but probably will be at some point, unless it isn't. Let's dive in. Let's start with the sensor. Most sources are pointing to a 24 megapixel stacked CMOS sensor similar to what's in the R3. There's also whispers about Canon pushing that even further to 30 or even 32 megapixels. Honestly, I would be shocked by that, because that would mean it would give the R6 Mark III more resolution than the R3, a camera that's designed for speed, and Canon really tends to save its headline grabbing numbers, in this case for the R1, which is already out there doing flagship things. Could they surprise us? Sure. Will they? Really doubt it. But hey, it's the internet. If you repeat a rumor enough times, somehow it becomes true. Either way, expect a next-gen sensor build for fast readout and solid dynamic range, because at least that part makes sense. And if it is stacked with faster readout, that could massively reduce the rolling shutter issues that we did see on the R6 Mark II, which would be a game changer for sports shooters. As for processing power, the R6 Mark III is rumored to use an updated Digic X processor, or possibly even Canon's newer dual chip setup like in the R1 and the R5 Mark II. That could mean big improvements in autofocus, subject tracking, and low light performance. Canon's deep learning AF system should be getting an upgrade too, with faster eye detection, more reliable animal and vehicle tracking, and maybe even body language prediction like we've seen teased in other models. Stabilization expected to stay around 8 to 8.5 stops, which is already one of Canon's strengths. Now let's talk speed. The R6 Mark III is expected to shoot up to 30 frames per second using the electronic shutter, possibly with full 14-bit RAW, which would be amazing for action and wildlife photographers. As for the mechanical shutter, rumors say 10 to 12 FPS, and honestly, if it ends up being 10, I'll eat my lens cap. The R6 Mark II already does 12 FPS mechanically, so there's no way Canon would go backwards, unless they're trying to start a vintage slow frame trend. With a stacked sensor, you're looking at much less rolling shutter and a faster readout overall. So if they don't do at least 12 frames per second mechanical, I'll be shocked and mildly insulted. Now let's touch on video real quick, because honestly it's not my main thing. I'm a sports photographer, so my world is all about capturing that split-second action, not filming long interviews or cinematic projects. That said, the rumors are out there. 6K recording, 4K at high frame rates, all the color profiles you could possibly want. Basically everything content creators and hybrid shooters love. And that's great, but for me personally, I'm only ever shooting video for YouTube, so as long as it's clean, sharp footage, and it doesn't overheat during a quick talking head video, I'm happy. Design-wise, it's probably not going to change much, to be honest. Expect something very similar to the R6 Mark II in terms of body shape and ergonomics, but one welcome rumored upgrade is dual card slots, with one of them being a CFexpress Type B and the other one being the SD card. The rear screen should stay fully articulating, great for vloggers and solo shooters like me. And there's talk of an improved OLED EVF with higher refresh rates and resolution. As for battery life, it's still a bit of a question mark, but Canon will almost certainly stick with the same battery type, the ones that can be found on the R5, R6, R6 Mark II. It's reliable, widely available, and probably already sitting in your camera bag. On its own, you're probably looking at around 350 to 400 shots per charge, depending how much you use the EVF, the LCD, or just repeatedly check your settings because, well, you don't trust yourself. But here's the thing, the battery grip exists, and for me it's non-negotiable. If the R6 had one, the R6 Mark II had one, there's no reason the R6 Mark III wouldn't. It doubles your battery capacity, it improves ergonomics, and it balances out heavy lenses like my 400mm, which otherwise turns the whole camera into a front-heavy kettlebell. So yes, the official spec might say 350 shots, but with a grip, more like 700 and less wrist pain. It's one of those upgrades that quietly makes a big difference, especially if you shoot long events, wildlife, or just to forget to charge things sometimes, like I do frequently. So when is it coming out? Rumors suggest a possible announcement in mid-2025 with actual availability later in the year, maybe August or September, and a retail release around Q4. As for price, most people expect it to land between $2,400 and $2,800 for the body only. That's a little higher than the R6 Mark II, but with all of these upgrades, it wouldn't be surprising. Now here's something that doesn't get talked about enough in my opinion, and probably because it's not shiny or clickable. The R6 Mark II wasn't just a good camera, or isn't a good camera, it's fantastic. It's one of Canon's biggest full-frame mirrorless hits, not just critically, but in actual sales. It found that magical Goldilocks zone, fast enough for sports, sharp enough for portraits, light enough to travel without filling a flight plan, and priced just under $3,000, so it doesn't immediately trigger a wallet-based existential crisis. Which means the R6 Mark III isn't just a sequel, it's the follow-up to a bestseller. And Canon, well, they really need to nail this one, don't they? Not too expensive, not too basic. It's the camera that enthusiasts, event shooters, hybrid creators, and YouTubers with oddly expensive microphones are all waiting for. And if that wasn't enough pressure, we've also got the global economy looming in the background like a grumpy lighting tech. Canon builds a lot of gear in Japan, Taiwan, and Vietnam, but with the US constantly redecorating its trade policies, there's always a risk that new tariffs could pop up on imports, especially for things like electronic lenses, well, and basically anything with a microchip and a personality. If that happens, Canon has some tough choices. Raise the price to cover the costs, cut features in certain regions like it's a streaming subscription tier, or just eat the cost for a while and hope that nobody notices the profit margins quietly sobbing in the corner. Listen, nothing is confirmed, but these aren't just wild hypotheticals either. Even now, just shipping batteries or moving sensors between factories is more expensive than what it used to be. If you've been tracking camera prices over the last few years, you probably noticed that everything has been slowly creeping upward like inflation or Adobe subscription fees. So yeah, tariffs, inflation, and factory logistics could all play a role where the R6 Mark III lands on the price chart, especially in the US. If Canon wants to keep it under $2,800 like the R6 Mark II, they're gonna have to be strategic. And if the price creeps past $3K, well, a lot of people, including me, might start casually eyeing other options, or worse, reading Nikon press releases. As for competition, Canon seems to be aiming this camera right at the Nikon Z6 Mark III or the Sony A7 Mark IV, or maybe even the upcoming A7 Mark V. It's clearly designed for hybrid shooters, people like me who want to shoot high quality stills and professional level video without jumping to a 4K flagship body. If Canon actually delivers on this spec list, or even comes close without starting a small fire in the process, the R6 Mark III could be one of the best balanced hybrid cameras out there. Not flagship price scary, not stripped down budget either, just right in the Goldilocks zone for people who want speed, sharpness, and sanity all in one body. So what are you hoping to see when Canon finally drops this thing? Better autofocus? Higher burst rates? A sensor that doesn't blink if you wave at it? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this helped you feel slightly more hopeful or confused about the future, hit like, subscribe, and smash that bell just gently. This is not a rental camera. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time, and happy shooting.